She looks like a vampire.
Hey, that's fine with me. That helps. That helps the Scans of Fate brand.
Right?
Hey, everybody, we're back.
Right. And I love that the little finger is pointed up. Very elegantly done.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. Happy Friday, guys.
Yeah, people used to tell me when this kind of computer art technology became available to to like the general public, there's this big deal about how it wasn't really art. You just push a couple of buttons. No, 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 no. I promise you, it's a lot more than
Baloney.
that.
Baloney, baloney, baloney. You have to do the shading. You have to do the placement. You have to do everything.
Hmm. You have to create every single element.
Right?
So I have a lot more respect for those Pixar guys now. But it's funny because people complained about like Daz Studio not being real art, and now those same people are having to contend with AI art, and I'm kind of sitting over here going, how's it feel now, guys?
Right?
Now I myself have embraced AI art, and there are ways to use it good, and there are ways to use it lazy. And trust me, folks, I love the lazy part, but
I was gonna say.
but with the effort, it works. It works. So what I've been doing is incorporating the rendered art with the AI art so that we can make the artwork for the books, and then very, very soon the tarot cards. It's a good time to be
To be or not to be? That is the question.
or not to be. Hey, Drac.
Can you not remember the next line? It's whether 'tis nobler.
Yeah, whether 'tis nobler to gnaw on the biscuits or dip them
And no,
in.
no, 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 no. Whether 'tis nobler in the minds of men to suffer the slings of and arrows of outrageous fortune. I know, right? I don't know how I do that, but somehow or another, just little bits and pieces stick in this brain of mine. But I have to admit, I am a little leery of AI. I feel about AI, the art, the way I feel about autotune.
Ah,
Singers before autotune had to learn how to get their pitch on point, and artists needed to figure out how to make their art look cooler. And now computers have replaced both. I am obsolete, Cassidae.
oh, no, no, trust me, you're not obsolete. See, the thing is they're packaging and advertising this stuff as AI, but it's not really AI. It's VI, and we'll be talking about that during a portion of the show. The difference, because a lot of people are freaked out about AI, and not without reason. But I have spent some time, and I can report to you guys it is not a true AI. You know,
It's not a slimy soul sucker.
right? I gave Chat GPT or whatever the hell it is, and all of its ilk, the full Blade Runner. It's not AI. Although we're getting there.
The full Blade Runner. I love it.
And Drac, almost. We are getting we're getting stuff posted on the store, reposted rather on the store, and getting the stores reorganized pretty much as we speak. By tonight, they'll be live again. And once orders start coming in, I'll need to figure out something, but almost there.
That's so exciting.
Drax says, "No, we're not obsolete. Just presented with tools to make it easier." Exactly, exactly.
That is so kind. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, we have a couple of subjects, and but mostly it's loosey goosey.
I like that. That makes me happy, especially on a Friday.
30 seconds till live, and I'm just like, can I just start? No, it's all right.
It's okay. Go ahead. I'm
No,
ready.
no, 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 no. I can be patient for 15 more seconds.
I know how much of a test it is.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1 live.
If you love me, why did you go away? I can see,
Disclaimer.
I can
It
see,
no longer matters who's crazy and who's
I can
not.
see.
The world is on fire and no one is going to put it out for us. No matter your race, religion, or creed, we are all in this together. Questions and comments from anyone on any topic are welcome, so long as everyone is having fun. Life is short and nobody gets out alive. So be kind and let's have some fun. Welcome to Coffee Time with the LionsPride. Here are your hosts, Cassidae Lightwing and Kristin Harding. Hello and welcome to Coffee Time with the LionsPride, with your host Cassidae Lightwing, the Lion. And I am Kristin Harding. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody. Sorry that the intro is sputtering. We got to look into that.
We do.
Yeah.
The music's nice, but you know that person that's doing the narrating, she needs to speak up a bit.
We'll get it right. We have the exact right one. It's all perfect somewhere. But when the hard drive crapped out, everything kind of got scattered. So we might have to redo it from scratch. It might be permanently damaged.
That's okay.
That being
She
said,
told me that.
well, yeah, that narrator, man, she is beautiful. So first comment goes to track with.
Aww.
He says, "Good morning, lovely people." And then we scroll down. We have Christina Degerman with "I like the lazy way too." We were talking about AI art.
Mhm.
Drax says, "No, we're not obsolete, just presented with tools to make it easier."
Mm.
And then we have Katie. Katie, thank you so much.
Hi, Katie.
And then we have Facebook user, and Facebook user says, "Hi, everyone."
Hello, hello.
And I saw, there we go. And of course, we have Jillian. Kiddo.
And Eric says hi.
And Eric says, "Hi."
Oh,
Hi,
and I see
everybody.
Raymond. I see Raymond. Hello, Ray.
So, welcome to the first show we've done in a while. We will be getting back to a regularly scheduled insanity, but not yet. See, basically,
Not
what it boils,
today.
yeah, what it boils down to is I need to pin my cheese to my cracker. Kristen, explain.
Well, you've been going through many levels of grief. You've been in mourning. You've been in depression. You've been in denial. We all go through these
Nuh-uh.
levels. Yo-ho. We all go through these levels. It's very, very common. But what you're finally facing now is hope and the decision to keep moving forward. So you're doing really, really well. But yeah, there was a minute there where I'm not going to deny it. I was worried. But
Yeah.
then I called in all our friends and said, hey, need some prayers.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had actually slipped back into having bipolar episodes, so that's how bad that got. So we'll be getting back to a regular schedule slowly. I'm taking my time. So for
Yeah.
now, we're just gonna go for shoot for Fridays. Well, we'll see what happens on Monday. We have something special planned, assuming I can get my hair untangled. You see, when you slip into severe depression, the very first thing to go is your sense of hygiene, and mine wasn't too good to begin with.
You didn't know what day it was.
I still don't. But I caught a cuss just now, so I guess I get a point for that. I was about to do the Samuel L. Jackson, "Mother bleep, I still don't know." But
That works. It's Friday.
yeah. The point is, though, we must always carry on. Never give up, never surrender.
Right.
So yeah. So I do want to take this time, however, to publicly apologize to Sarah because I'm pretty sure that figured into all this. I'm sorry. I am very, very sorry. I was slipping into bipolar episodes. Got it under control again. It happens to the best of us. And this is why I keep.
It really does. It reaches up and grabs you, and you don't even know it happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But we're back now. So, yeah, how has everybody else been? Kristin, how's Polly? I'm sure everybody wants an update.
Oh, he's getting better every day. His energy level when he came home from the hospital was probably around 15%. He could barely get up off the couch, and going down the stairs was just too much for him. But
Right.
now he's at about, I'd say about 40% where he was before. He's put on almost 24 pounds. Yay! He is not looking as skeletal as he was. He was so sick. He couldn't eat. He just everything he ate just burned
Yeah,
away, and there was nothing to do other than what we ended up doing, which was getting some medical attention.
yeah. He looked like what would happen if Harry Potter dated a necromancer for a while. I'm glad that part's over.
Yeah, that's a very apt description. I was gonna say he just was withering away, but finally something clicked, and he was able to get it under control, and now cereal is not safe in our house. And we have like 7 or 8 choices, so he's a very happy camper.
Good. I'm
Yeah.
just glad he's finally getting what he deserves. Rest.
Rest, yes. He can sleep unbelievable amounts, like 12 to 14 hours. To me, this is astonishing because pain. I can't sleep for more than like maybe 8 at a time. So to me, that is just wonderful. But I think that's really helped in his healing. That and just not having that pressure of going every day to work.
Right.
You know.
And it's not a matter of being lazy. It's that work environment was insane. You know.
The air quality, especially, would be very detrimental to him right now. And being on oxygen and having a live furnace because he was a steel worker. I guess I can say that without giving away too much. But yeah, being a steel worker, you can't be around that. So
Right.
he has literally been forced to retire from what he has known for 35, 36 years. Same place. So, new chapter.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad he deserves a break.
I agree.
So we wanted to talk about AI a little bit because again that's been on people's minds, and we were talking about AI art and stuff in the first in the during the goof off period. Can you guys hear that dog?
Yes. Yes. Woof, 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 woof.
Ray, could you come in here and shut the window, please?
It's trying to bark. It's trying to sound all fierce.
Oh no, it's succeeding in barking, but not sounding fierce. That little dog out there, I swear to God, I could pick it up and drink it like a soda. But
They're
yeah,
the fiercest ones. The big dogs just look at you and go, woof.
thank you, Ray. Yeah, dogs like me. That's the thing. Unless they're behind a fence, when they have nothing, when they don't have a fence to protect them, they're pretty friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out of coffee
Uh-oh.
already.
No,
Thank you,
say
son.
it isn't so. I
So,
I would send you some of mine, but I think it'd be pretty cold by the time I got there.
hey, you know what? I like cold coffee. Eric's wifey says Megan is an AI. Is that that new monster movie with like the robot doll that runs around doing stuff like a
I
female
think
Chucky?
so. I think
Mm.
so. It looked pretty scary,
She has that dead eye look that's like
right?
she's following me everywhere. So yeah, we wanted to talk about AI. There's been a lot of fear and whatnot in the media about AI and this is the dawn of the end of humanity and whatnot, and it's not. So now I'm going to ask you guys to trust me a little bit, but if you don't, you can go test it yourself. Chat GPT and other AIs that have been made available to the public. Um, Myself and other light workers and whatnot have been testing them, and we've come to the conclusion it is not AI at all. It's what's called virtual intelligence, but it's not
Hmm.
artificial intelligence.
Right.
Now, that's a good thing because that means that humanity has a little bit of time to get their shit together.
Right.
which
Because
is
artificial intelligence being sentient is terrifying to humans.
I don't understand that. I understand that it's true, just from the stories from Lawrence Livermore Lab, but I mean, I don't understand why. But whatever, whatever.
Dune,
So the real fear here isn't like the AI taking over, Skynet, Terminators, and all that. And speaking of Terminators, check our store for Terminator miniatures. Ha ha ha! New edition. Um,
not a word
that,
about Dune, huh? Okay.
nothing about Dune. What about
Yeah,
Dune?
you s- the when we were explaining AI and I said Dune, that's the reason people are afraid of it because computers take
Oh,
over and artificial intelligence takes over and you have to have mentats and yeah,
see, I thought you said Doom. Doom, and I was like, how does Kristin know about Doom?
that sounds like a game. I'm
It is.
talking about the book that makes no beep 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 beeps.
Yeah, yeah. You okay? Y'all know me, and as we do more episodes for you new viewers, you'll understand why I try to steer clear of Dune. I've been trying. I've been trying to read it for 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You get freaked out?
Yeah. Basically, I start to see what my dad was getting at, and long
Yeah.
story short, for the newer viewers, my father was a cult master, and it was one of them kind of cults. So,
And his cheese had definitely slipped off his cracker.
uh, I don't think so. I think he took his cheese off and, like, flung it like a Frisbee. I love my dad, 98% best dad ever, but that 2%, boy, wow, you are Luke Skywalker's son. Okay, dad.
Thank you, Drek. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that passes all things into obliteration. We
Mhm.
must face our fear. We must permit it to pass over us and through us. We must turn our inner eye to see fear's path. Where the fear has been, there will be nothing. Only we will remain.
Now that's part of the 98%. My dad taught me how to control my fear using that prayer. And then I met Kristen, and she's like, "I know that prayer too." And I'm like, "Yay!"
That's one of those random factoids. You never know why you glean them until Cass says, hey, and it sparks it, and you're like, oh, well, that's why I learned that.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, don't worry about AI. What you guys do have to fear though is people with nefarious intent. They've already tried to start a violent civil war by programming the AI to show pictures of like Trump leading an army with machine guns, and some people, not many, but some people fell for it. Now this trick isn't going to work for long, but I'm going to teach you guys the trick to tell AI apart from actual photographs. There actually is a trick. Watch the fingers. AI doesn't know how to deal with hands yet.
Ah,
So for now, that's your key. And like in the photos we're talking about, if you look at like the hands, you'll see they're way off. They're weird. Like they have extra knuckles and such. Now, they can duplicate faces and such, but AI don't know what to do with fingers yet. So until it does, that's your trick.
but humans have so many emotions. You sparkling eyes, the squinty, the different, like facial expressions. And
Well,
what I have seen of these robots, because that's what I'm going to call them, is that they are very, uh, let's say they have one expression or maybe two.
mhm.
So that's a dead giveaway too.
Well, see, that's part of what the VI does that makes it seem like an AI. It's
Mhm.
not using an imagination. What it's doing is it's scanning literally like every photo on the internet and coming up with a compilation, utilizing morph technology to make what it thinks you want.
It's exactly what the looking glass thing was predicting was that they were going to be reading all of these thoughts
Well, maybe
and
that's what it was referring to.
and projecting it into a new database and then projecting this new reality at us. Quite frankly, I don't want to go back to 2016. How about you? I'd
No,
like to
not
go a little
particularly.
further back. I'd like to go a little further back if we get the option.
1993. That's all I ask. Some of you will not have been born yet, but that's okay. We'll be waiting for you. You ever see Jumanji? It'll be like the end of Jumanji.
With Robin Williams, I just got a copy of that. That's amazing you brought that up.
Well, I do kind of look like him right now with the beard.
Yeah,
it'll be its
you do.
it'll be its Slick Xanatos like evil goatee soon enough.
But you're not a Libra.
No, but Xanatos is sexy for a cartoon character. So
I know in Jumanji, at one point, the heroine says, "Don't worry about him. He's a Libra."
oh
And it explained everything.
yeah, I wouldn't get that.
No.
So yeah, don't worry about AI right now. AI is not the worry. The big worry is con men and nefarious actors who would utilize this to fool you and part you from your power. Don't
Right.
let them take your power.
Nope.
Yeah. Now that does bring us to let's see, what was the next thing? Oh yeah. So we as a species are in trouble. And I don't want to scare anybody. We're going to figure it out somehow. We're making efforts. We actually have some appointments with some people. I really got to shave by the time we get to that appointment. Anyway,
Segue.
yeah. So the sun is getting more and more violent in its axiomatic state, and it's throwing out more and more coronal mass. Now, coronal mass ejection and a solar flare are not the same thing, although they often seem like the same thing because people tend to use them interchangeably. A coronal mass ejection is much more dangerous. Now, what I want you guys to do is look up something called the Carrington event.
Mm.
So I want you guys to understand that we were less than 30 hours from a Carrington event just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that the sun threw out enough coronal mass to engulf this planet.
Mm-hmm.
This does not mean all life on the planet would have been destroyed or anything like that. However, our electronics would have been very severely disrupted.
EMP.
Right. So, go ahead.
Did anybody see the northern lights that resulted from this ejection? Because they were astonishing.
I did not. I was too busy doing other stuff.
Apparently, you could see them as far south as New Mexico.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah. See, that should be terrifying right there. But yeah. So, what to do about it? Well, we're working on that. We're hitting a point, and we're going to be leading into more detail on this for the second half of the show. We're leading into a point where even the normies are starting to recognize that something needs to be done. And even the mainstream are beginning to acknowledge that the visitors are here.
Right.
You know, I mean, I just heard on an interview, Brett Weinstein actually he started to talk about it, and then he pulled himself away. He said, "Well, the distance that aliens would have to cross to get here is just far too great. Of course, but then they live among us." And then he caught himself. Yeah. So it's good.
How did they get here, Cassidae?
Well, we've been trying to explain to them that, but they don't want to listen. They think it's a fairy tale. And it's like, well, if you think it's a fairy tale, buy my book. Solves that problem.
Well,
But
I explained it this way to Polly. I said, imagine, if you will, a time on this planet before known history, before written history. And there were places on this planet called Mu, High Brazil, and Atlantis. And eventually Mu became Lemuria. I said, so imagine if very intelligent beings from other places came here and cohabitated and grew civilizations with what was already here, but left a genetic marker so that when it was time for that knowledge or for them to return here, we would be activated and remember. That's what I see the awakening is. We're just remembering.
that's a huge part of it. It really is. But yeah, so so building on that, I mean, so the spiritualists, the psychics, I mean, everybody's starting to talk to each other, like we've been saying is going to happen for a while. To that end, I have made some efforts, and so we have some appointments with some people, and if I could be more vague, I would. But so hopefully we can get the ball rolling.
Milk.
So hopefully we can get the ball rolling on reactivating the planet's defenses from solar activity. There are many defenses all around the world. I was actually just talking with one of them last night. They were like, "Okay, Cassidy, what do you think about so from what you've described and everything that there should be these defenses in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Where are they?" And so that was a big discussion. We'll do an episode on that soon on the planet's defenses because we want everybody to know, as scary as it gets, hang on, hope is coming.
Is that including the ley lines?
Yeah, well, a lot of the defenses work off of the ley lines. For those of you who are fans of Ancient Aliens, like me, you might remember they did an episode on these things called the cauldrons up in Siberia. The cauldrons operate on ley line energy, just like Stonehenge and the pyramid at Giza.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day, and I can't wait to see certain scientists' face. Now, I'm a huge fan of Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I can't wait to see his face when he realizes what Tesla was talking about. There's a lot of people who have been throwing shade at Tesla's theories lately, saying, well, if what Tesla said was true, then we would all cook from the electricity in the air. No, because there have been mistranslations from Serbian to English.
Right.
But what Tesla described is the same process that the ancients described by calling them things like ley lines.
But we are also energy. So because we are also made of energy and water, that energy is not going to hurt us. We kind of repel it,
Right.
or bring it in, depending on if it's an energy that you're happy with and it resonates with you.
If Tesla were here, he would say, this energy is out of phase with our biological bodies. But if we could see from another perspective, it would be as reading the book Flatland. And for some reason, Tesla's being played by Carl Sagan in this episode.
Like billions and billions of reasons to quote Carl Sagan right now.
Billions and billions. I love Carl Sagan, man. Carl Sagan was on the level of Nikola Tesla. It's just that he knew how to talk to people a little better, Yeah.
So explain 369.
Oh God. All right. So 369. It doesn't just describe a like a frequency upon which people can heal and stuff, like the tonal frequencies. The 369 was also a description of the fractal universe. All right. If you understood 369 in the context, then what would be implied in there is, I'm almost slipping into Carl Sagan again. Implied in 369 is, I hate the number. Is the progression after 3, but also before 3 into the negative. You see what I mean?
No.
Okay, so all right,
so we're going into -3?
Right.
Okay. So then we have to go back into 3 to get to 0, and then go +3 to get to 6.
Right.
Okay.
And the last element of the 369 that is important is that basically it was a riddle meant to bring mathematicians and numerologists and such together, because everyone has an answer for this that actually worked with this technology, and they're all wildly different. And the physicists are saying that's impossible, and the spiritualists are saying, yeah, but you've never seen an atom, and it just goes back and forth. But the 3, 6, and 9 can unite all of the intellectual philosophies once it's fully understood. But it has to be fully understood by the different perspectives. The numerologists have to be free to have their perspective. Otherwise, you won't be able to see where the puzzle pieces fit together. You know, it's easy. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, it has become easy for people to forget one major aspect of science, and that is every single thing that you know of as today is scientifically provable was once crackpot wackadoo pseudoscience. Okay.
Exactly. That's why rabbit holes are not going to be rabbit holes for very much longer.
hmm Before, he invented the stove and the bifocals, and he had an apprentice mouse.
Benjamin Franklin.
Thank you. Benjamin Franklin brought us from believing that a lightning bolt was the finger of God after he picked his nose to, oh, it's electricity. You know?
It's God bowling. What do you mean?
Yeah. So, but at the time that I mean, you got to remember, Ben Franklin believed and understood the physics of this so much so that he was willing to risk his life with a key on the kite, that whole thing. By the way, the key on the kite isn't quite what you've been shown in cartoons, but it still gets the point across.
Mhm.
You know, kind of like the old I cannot tell a lie. That's not exactly how it really went, but it gets the story across. You know,
Somebody chopped down the cherry tree.
yeah, exactly. Father, I cannot tell a lie. It was I that chopped down your favorite cherry tree. And if this were the Lions After Dark, there's a story that goes with that, but wrong show.
Wrong show.
Yeah, so you got to remember, like even great minds like no, not Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was after Isaac Newton. There we go. Even great minds like Isaac Newton thought that the lightning was the finger of God. All right. So even the scientists of the time were like, "What the hell are you? You're gonna piss off God?"
Mhm.
And Ben's just sitting there going, "No, I'm not. I'm doing God's work." And the Hebrews were over there going, "Uh-oh, they're starting to learn." And for those of you in the audience going, "But that was racist against Jews," I am Jewish. Tribe of Judea. Wall.
You're allowed.
Mhm.
I was just thinking back now, in my lineage, what would I be? If Papa de Bayou was granddaughter to Charlemagne, Charlemagne could trace his lineage back to Adam, wouldn't I be pre?
Well, that's the thing.
Pre-tribe?
Pre or post, I mean, it depends. I guess it depends on how you track your mother, I guess.
Mhm.
So I don't know. All I know is that I'm barely Jewish, but Jewish enough to be able to make some points without people saying racism. So, but by the way, I can't be racist. I'm an arachnid.
That's why you hate spiders. You don't like the competition.
Yeah, it's because I don't like myself. And by the way, for those of you wondering, this says Willie's Reserve. This came from the local weed shop. And Shannon, I win our bet.
Yep. You
It's
sure
also
do.
hiding how messy my hair is, but don't tell the audience.
No, don't tell Kristin either. Or she'll send you more detangler.
Mhm. No, actually, what happened, folks, is, and this is why we're talking about hygiene. If I were to show you guys my hair right now, you might turn to stone. The saving throws would be needed. Basically, I made the mistake of trying a man bun, and I have been punished for my insolence.
Well, generally, when you have a man bun, you take your hair out before you go in the tub.
Oh, that's what I did wrong.
Yep. Anybody who's ever had a ponytail go awry can relate to what you're going through.
Mm.
I just pray there is not a mullet in your future.
It wouldn't be the first time I've had a mullet. I move the stars for no one.
Ooh, nice.
See, that wouldn't be so bad, would it?
No, not that kind of mullet. Wow, yeah. Have to have a lot of product to get that height.
Well, honestly, there's something I've been thinking about, and if I have to cut my hair, I mean, it's not terribly uncommon for a shaman and whatnot to cut their hair after a great loss.
Mhm.
So maybe it'll be good for me, you know. Now, that does not mean that's the first option. You guys have seen me work out dreads before. This isn't mermaid dread, folks. This is mermaid donut.
You have been working on it for so long, trying to get it undone too. It's not like you just left it.
Right. No, it's getting there. Ray's been helping me, and we've been using the time to watch, movies and stuff together. It's been actually been really fun. I'm actually kind of miss it when we're done, but it's getting there.
Mhm.
Yes, Katie, that's exactly the play. The problem is the two ends loop into each other. Like I said, it's mermaid donut. You could actually probably hang a towel back here right now. Mm. So yeah, well,
By
we'll
the
have
way,
to
the
check that out.
detanglers are acidic. I pulled the wooden tool I made back, and the outermost layer of the wood was bleached and brittle. Interesting. And I looked it up before I sent it to you guys, and it had such good reviews. I apologize.
Keep in mind that there's lots of reasons for a wooden tool to get like
Oh,
that. Oh, we'll investigate it later.
okay,
That's the first I've heard of it, so I'll check it out.
all right. But I agree with Katie. If you start at the very bottom
Oh,
and work your way up,
so side note to take me out of the spotlight, um, just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what we're doing, so you guys can see we're making great progress.
is that a turtle?
This is Mario on a go-kart.
Okay, bring it a little closer. There we go. Now I can see it.
Yeah, he's got a little banana peel. This is one of the pieces from one of the Bowser sets that is a present for someone special.
Very cool. Thank you
So
for clarifying what he was holding. I thought it was wrong show for a moment.
no, oh God, no, no, it's Mario holding. You get to throw banana peels at each other in the video game, so you can throw banana peels and
Oh,
bombs and
happy
turtle shells.
Friday.
Yeah, no, it was nothing bad. Although Ray would be disappointed if it
Like,
didn't put out that Ray's adult toy store will be opening soon, but we won't be advertising that on this show. But good job on Ray. He's taking the initiative, building his own business within, like he's building his own little business within our business, and I'm really proud of him for that. That's pretty good. That's taking initiative. Just maybe not just put it right in my face, like, "Hey, Dad, check it out." But yeah, so things are going very, very, very well.
good.
Which brings us to I think that brings us to the second part, all the UFO sightings, Project Bluebeam, and so why don't we start with you explaining to us what this Palantir event is? What have you heard? What do you?
Oh, let me see if I took a note. I think I did take a note here. Okay, so part of the notes are going into Project Project Bluebeam, which is the conspiracy theory, or was, about creating the second coming. Its aim is to abolish Christian and all world religions, replace it with one world religion based on the cult of men, to abolish all national identities and national pride in order to establish a world identity and a world pride, to abolish the family as known today in order to replace them with individuals all working for the glory of the new one world government. Now, I do not agree with any of these, by the way. So that, and the author of that was Sergei Monast. Project Bluebeam is a predictor of aliens coming, of people seeing more, and they're not being questioned, shall we say, by the government anymore because the government has admitted that, yeah, they're here. So we have to be very careful and find out what resonates inside of us, if these are really extraterrestrial beings or if it's just another illusion.
Right. Now, most people would predict that this date is going to pass with no with nothing to herald it. But we'll see. Drax says, sounds kind of socialist, don't it? Well, if you think that sounds socialist, you should look up the 15-minute cities.
Yeah, that's very.
Yep.
And we passed yesterday. We didn't get invaded by aliens. There was that supposed time traveler that said that on March 23rd, 2023, the world was invaded by aliens. And I'm like, well, not really.
Yeah. Ray says, can we talk about the relationship of architecture and spirituality someday? I would love to. That would be really, really good idea, especially since that works into the pilgrimage, and that's actually very, very important.
Architecture and spirituality. Doesn't that sound like the Mason?
Yesterday was one of the various alien invasion prophecy dates.
Mm-hmm. And yes, it was supposed to be yesterday.
Well, I got here early.
We survived! We survived to that! Yay! We didn't have another war of the worlds.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's only because it's not going to be a war. It's going to be a flick. Which kind of brings us to the reason why this episode is entitled Ve Victus. Now, for those of you who are gamers, you might remember Ve Victus was Kane's battle cry from the Legacy of Kain series. And not biblical Cain, vampire Cain. He would shout, Ve Victus! What that means is suffering to the defeated. And the reason why, but Cass, the show is all about hope and light. That's kind of a dark message, Ve Victus. You must understand who I'm speaking to. So the thing is, there is going to be a rush of people claiming to be Jesus. It's already been, that's always been there, but it's going to be picking up. So I want to take this opportunity to say, I am not Jesus by any stretch of the imagination. But by the time this is over, the enemy is going to wish I was. See, folks, and this is the part that I'm trying to bring to the West, because we have been recognized for who we are by the Hindus. There's no more issue there. However, the West is having some trouble catching up. So what I want you guys to do is type in Vishnu Lion Man Asura. Okay? Go ahead and do a Google on that. Because, folks, the Vedic stories, part of the importance of the Vedic stories and why I still pay attention, even though I'm a Christian, is because the Vedic stories are cyclical. And it's just about time for that avatar of Vishnu to make its face known on the planet again. And who is it that we openly hunt? Without remorse, without reservation, and without fear of saying it to the watchers. We hunt Moloch. We hunt Mammon. Now, when you read the story or watch it on YouTube, you'll see what I'm talking about. The destroyer is coming. Now, even the Bible predicts that.
Wormwood.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So now, once there's the thing. I'm not saying I am the Lion Man avatar, just in case that just occurred to me. I better make sure that I don't think that. I'm just saying the destructor is coming and suffering to the defeated. And as far as I'm concerned, it tried to eat our children. Let it scream. So, yeah.
But also remember the promise of God that he will never leave us or forsake us.
Granted. But I counter that with we don't fight against men or animals or...
We fight against principalities and powers. Yes, I understand.
Yes. So, yeah, folks, hope is coming. And along with hope, justice. Justice. And I'm Jean-Lucing myself because I was about to spin off into Justice for Shar. And Justice for Shar is coming, just not the violent kind.
Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord.
I said justice, not vengeance. Mm-hmm.
I know. But just remember that, sins don't go unnoticed, and God's not mocked.
No. And as the bard once said, sooner or later, God'll cut you down.
I think we cut ourselves down. God's just there to pick us back up if we need him.
Thank you, Ray, because I couldn't remember his name. I was sitting here the whole time. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Thank you, Ray.
Narashima? Narasima? Okay.
Narashima, I think, is how it's pronounced. I think.
Very pretty.
Yeah. And no, I'm not saying that. And again,
Beautiful name for a destroyer.
he's a protector, not a destroyer. Well, he destroys the enemy. Yeah, but you get the idea. Thomas says, fear is the mind killer, and yet facing fear is the only way through. Exactly. And they are going to scare you.
Mm-hmm. There's two definitions of fear, you know. You can flee everything and run, F-E-A-R, or you can face everything and rise.
I like the second one.
So do I.
That's going to get made into a little statue and get put on the store. Face everything and rise, and it's going to be a little statue of Shar with like an American flag. I've already got a backstory now and everything. I've got head canon for this. All right.
You need to take some dictation to keep your notes.
I'm not sure what you're trying to get at, but all I can think of is the Kurgan. I'm the one, the only one. I'm the God of Kingdom Come. Just give me the prize. Just give me the prize.
There can only be one, you know.
Oh, there can be only two. You and me. You and me. We get this. Two of us.
My favorite is when they're on the bridge and they're talking, and they're both. It looks like they're going to draw their swords, and they both start drinking.
Oh man. Drax says, "Let fear crash upon you like a wave, and stand resolute like the jutting rock outcropping again. It crashes against." I like that. That's nice and heroic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dressed like a pirate right now, so it works. Thomas says, "I love you and miss you. Wait, I love and miss you too, and I will stick around. I love knowing you're here." Well, thank you, broski.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We're not going anywhere.
Whew, wow, I almost burped right on camera.
What
was that about?
Can I share something that was amazing? I saw a TikTok. Since you're busy, I'm just going to keep talking. I saw a TikTok, and it said that when we get the hiccups, it is actually a part of our brain that developed when we evolved from a fish-like creature into a mammal. And to stop hiccups, and I've tested this and it actually works, all you have to do is say, I am not a fish.
And if I were, I wouldn't breathe coffee.
Because I tried it. Like, I have had bouts of hiccups that last 5-10 minutes, right? And they just don't go away. And I tried it once and it worked. And I'm like, well, that was a fluke. You know, the next time I got them, I got 2 hiccups out. I remembered, I said, I am not a fish. And they went away.
See, I believe you, and I'm going to go ahead and try that. That actually does make some sense from an evolutionary biology point of view. People often forget all of us spend our first 9 months breathing water.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And yes, once it starts, the baby actually breathes water, the amniotic fluid down there. That's one of the main reasons why that supersaturated oxygen crap works for deep dives. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Okay, so basically they have this liquid, it's super saturated with oxygen, and you can literally breathe it, and they'll fill your suit with it for super deep dives. If you've ever seen the movie The Abyss, that fluid they use, that's real. That's real. You know, Ed Harris was really in it. You actually watched him thinking he was drowning for a second. They didn't mess around. But that's a real fluid.
That would be hard for me.
Yeah, it would be hard. It's hard for everybody. The trick, and they say that they give a little blurb about it in the movie, but they say the trick is to remind yourself, like consciously remind yourself that you used to breathe this stuff, because apparently it's the same consistency as amniotic fluid. So, but what they say is you have to tell yourself. So what you said makes perfect sense. I mean,
it's just wild. Just wild. Well, I was trained. I grew up very close to a lake, and we swam from the time I was a little one on. So I was trained when you're in water, you don't breathe. But I could very easily see how, if you didn't know any better, you'd come up sputtering, going, "Hey, wait!"
Now I'm going to answer that, kiddo, and yet I can't hide the look in my eyes. Uh, let me just say that those involved in the entire thing, their problem now isn't that they killed my daughter. The problem is that now I realize they're never going to stop coming after my son. So I will say this once. My name is Cassidae Lightwing. You killed my daughter. Prepare to die. What?
I was wondering if you wanted me to go into the rest of the quote.
No, that's okay. Because it's not me.
Because actually it fits. Offer me money. No.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yes. Let's let it. Offer me money. Go ahead. Now you got to offer me money. No, because you didn't. We all saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, and
You
some
want your
people
daughter
have
back.
wondered. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have wondered why I haven't acted, and that's number one. The mission we kind of have to stay within laws. Number two, I promised my baby girl, and I don't break promises. Number three, I ain't gotta. I'm not the only one that loves Shar. It ain't me you have to hide from. Good luck.
I would like you to address this comment.
He says, I thought this was Jim Andre live. I wanted to talk about my alien experience, not goldfish and hiccups. Well, come on the show. That's normally what we do. I would like to remind you, if you've been watching Jim Andre's show, I'm the one that used to run Esoteric Hours, Yeah.
This
Just,
is awesome.
yeah.
And we've been doing it now for almost 3 years. Very successfully, I might add.
No, he's just let it go. Just let it go. But and by the way, are you making a reference to the Y Files, Hecklefish? Because if so, I love that show. Hecklefish is so funny.
I don't know.
Hi, Gary. I don't think they meant it hostily. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. I was just like, I think you should address that one.
No, and he has a good point. Normally, that's kind of what we talk about, but it's been a while, so it's more of like a, hey, everybody, how you doing? You okay, Kristin?
Well, I'm fine.
Did I interrupt you?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm not the only one that loves Shar, and many of the others are not nearly as patient as me. So what I do, folks, is I pray for those who wronged us. This might sound weird, but I pray for mercy for those that harm Shar. Because honestly, what would honor her the best is for everybody to stop fighting and just talk.
But she wanted.
Yeah. Now, turning her attackers into Pez dispensers would be viscerally satisfying in the moment, but it wouldn't actually serve anything long term.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah, as far as Jim Andre goes, I do have permission to be here. Don't worry. And I'm on with Jim pretty, fairly regularly. Hopefully more regularly in the future. But would you please explain the goldfish thing? That is driving me crazy. The
I
goldfish.
don't know. I don't know what goldfish you're talking about.
His comment.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's all the time I'm gonna spend on that, because we don't want the show to have a down note. Shar wants to be remembered in joy and happiness, not in tears and madness.
Right.
He said while making a crazy look at the camera.
Sarah was a beautiful, bright light, and she will never be forgotten.
Yes. Tom says, peace to all beings, mercy. Everyone gets dealt with by source, so I will keep my peace of mind. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Besides, if I use a hand to hold a grudge, then I can't play Nintendo.
Right? You need both hands for the controller.
Right. So it's time to wrap up the show, and I will, point out that we have. To sum up and reiterate, all around the world, the UFOs are being seen. Methods of contact are finally making it through. The attempts that and yes, I'm going to very boldly say that your satellite Voyager has in fact run into 3 separate vessels, and if they've tried to send messages back through Voyager. We are attempting to contact your species on all wavelengths, including via those who are stationed here. And for the new viewers, no, we're not aliens. I was born in Denver, but there's a lot more to do with First Contact. With that First Contact has a lot more to do with old Native American stories than it does with laser beams, Death Stars, and lightsabers.
Right.
Believe me, I vote for lightsabers, but it's just not it's not in the cards, So contact is being made. You are not alone. Hope is coming. And final thoughts, as always, are yours, my love.
Well, I'm just going to say that's all for now, dear lights. Thank you so much for joining us. Never forget that you are amazing. You are loved. Be well, be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next show. Bye.
That's all the time we have for now, dear lights. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that like button and share with your friends. We have a great many people to reach, but we are only as strong as our signal. The world can be a scary place, but you don't have to face it alone. We love you, everybody. Be safe out there.
I can see